Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and FightBackMediaTV.com. We are thrilled that you are here. It is a lovely Tuesday morning. It's about, let me see, 83 degrees. I was checking the little temperature bug there. 83 degrees here in West Central Florida. The sun is shining. I can see that outside here. It's gorgeous. It's going to be great. Not a super hot day. Like yesterday was like an upper 80s, almost 90 here. So that can be warm. You know, I'm somebody who likes the warm weather. I enjoy the warm weather. I don't even mind. I don't mind the hot weather. Not like a lot of people. A lot of people come here and go, "How do you live here?" And I used to go, "Without you." Anyway, again, thank you again for dropping by today. Today's going to be sort of a mishmash of things, and things I want, a couple of things that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I think now is probably I'm able to talk about them without repercussions from the social media gods. So I'm gonna have a little coffee here. And my let's see, my mug, my November 390 Golf Mike, Premier One driver. Before we started, the kind of dude that Greg Minks is when I ordered this cup from the website, it was jacked up. It's got this whole thing, and over the plane, and the wording isn't right. It was completely jacked up. So he sent me another one. He did touch the system and sent me another one, and it was completely jacked up too. So and I was gonna be cool. I was gonna be cool with it. That's fine. But I happened to show it on a video, and he said, so he finally got them to send me one that was printed correctly. Unfortunately, I can't use that because I've used it so much that the handle broke off. My son glued it one time, and it just fell off again. So it's sitting quietly in my cup cabinet. We all have that cup cabinet. We have cups that you've had since college, whatever. You have stadium cups you've had since college. It's sitting in my cup cabinet. More of a souvenir than something that I use every day. So, thanks, Greg. You're awesome. Appreciate you. All right. Anyway, now on to the show. In the past few years in media, we have heard we just keep hearing stuff from people that we're supposed to take as true. We're just supposed to take it as true because it was on MSNBC, it was on CNN, it was on Fox News. It's just supposed to be true. But what I want people to remember is that a lot of the things that you heard from the credible sources, well, let me remind you of this piece of information.
Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else. It cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to go get more people. That means the vaccines will get us to the end of this.
It'll get us to the end of this. Rachel Maddow. I just struggle because I usually call her something like Rachel Mad Cow, but Rachel Maddow says, definitively, it'll get us to the end of this. Like somehow we'll be able to just eradicate COVID. Now, people like me and others said, once something like this gets into the environment, it's never going to go away. When you have a virus that gets into the environment, it never goes away. What you do is you have people build up immunities to it. which is why the common cold didn't kill off mankind. It's not going to go away. No one's even trying to make it go away because at this point, it's so prevalent, it's not fatal. Nobody dies of the common cold, right? Nobody does. It's not a death sentence for somebody if they get a cold. Like, oh, he got a cold and he died. No, that doesn't happen. And the reason is that people build up immunities, and the social immunity to what we call the common cold, which is part of the COVID family of viruses, is such that everybody has such a strong immunity to it that we only experience some symptoms. You know, the runny nose and, you know, the sneezing or the coughing possibly, you know, and stuffy head. Some people may run a little fever because you run a fever when you get an infection, right? But getting to the end of it, hell, we didn't get to the end of measles. There was a case just recently where they found some measles, a case of measles at LAX. We haven't gotten to the end of measles. We haven't gotten to the end of polio. I actually personally know somebody who's just a little younger than me who has polio. What the hell, right? So we didn't get to the end of polio either. Even with the vaccinations, even with the stars, and a lot of us have stars upon ours. So this whole idea that they were pushing that wasn't being considered medical misinformation, YouTube. Although when I related a story on a video about some doctors that had gone through some stuff during COVID, I wasn't even, you know, I've never told people what to do as far as taking the shot or not. I've just do whatever you need to do. And frankly, I don't hold that against you. You know, a good friend of mine the other day we were talking, and he said, you know, one of the things I do regret is that he took that he took the shot, but he took it for completely selfish reasons because he wanted to go to Vegas with his family. He wanted to go to Vegas and have a good time. And at the time, the only way that he could go was to take the shot. So he said, screw it, I want to go. He didn't really think that he should, but he was like, I don't care, whatever. He wasn't doing it for any altruistic reasons. He was doing it because by his own admission, because he was being selfish. Okay, you know, and I was like, dude, whatever. Do what you think is right to do with you. So I don't really hold any. I don't hold anybody in contempt who decided to do that. I just don't. I just can't. It's just stupid. And by the same token, I think that we need to start looking at not just. COVID taught us that maybe we should start really revisiting all these vaccinations, all these shots. That maybe, I don't know, just maybe, what we've been doing for all this time may not necessarily be the best thing. Now, again, like I said, there's a bunch of us who have stars upon ours. I don't even know if I still have my star. I don't even know. Let's see if I still have my star. And what I mean by that, there it is right there. A lot of us have our stars from our vaccinations, but again, somebody like me who was born in 1960, let me show you this because I thought that this was this was amazing. This chart that I'm going to show you is not a chart that I designed, that I looked up. It's a chart from the Informed Choice USA, a consumer advocacy, education, and empowerment group. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but if this is close to being correct, and I think it is, maybe we should take a look. All right. Now, back in 1962, OPV, smallpox, DTP, which is probably me. That's my era. Now, in 1983, that's just before my kid's era. My kid was born in 1990, so that's kind of his era. But if this is true, look how many doses. Now, even my kid, we didn't give him anywhere near 24 doses of vaccines. But look at this, 72 different doses from everything, from influenza to TDAP to Hep B to rotavirus to PCV, HIV, HPV. There's Hep A. I mean, it just more influenza. I mean, it just goes on and on, and on and on and on. And none of these things have been wiped out. Not one. Not one. That's incredible. If it's anywhere near 70, if it's anywhere near 50 or 30, shouldn't we, or shouldn't they, as the medical profession, look at that and start saying, well, maybe there needs to be some adjustment. Maybe there just doesn't need to be a drug answer to every malady. They don't have that when you break your leg. You know, if you break your leg, they don't say, well, just take these pills and you'll be okay. Not every malady need have a drug solution for it. Right? Does that make sense? Because what happened when people had these maladies before and didn't die? What happened? What did they do? Did they, because Pfizer didn't exist. Maybe it's time. I don't know how well this video is going to do on on YouTube, but we're damn sure going to try it. Maybe it's time to review some of these things. Maybe it's time for the medical profession to review these things. And all I'm asking here from Fightback Media is that true? Do you think it's time to start looking at some of this stuff differently? Maybe finding, and I don't want to get all weird, maybe some holistic, I hate that word, some holistic treatments, some natural treatments for some of the things that we faced. Because those, maybe the holistic or natural treatments are sustainable and aren't just covering up symptoms, but actually going at the root cause of whatever is our malady. Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe. All right. Here's something else they told us. Here is something else they told us, and I'm starting to work this vMix pretty good now. I think apparently I paid for a paid version of it that I didn't. It was a trial that I didn't cancel. Anyway. Okay, now look at this chart. This is something else that may get me kicked off of YouTube. I don't know. But I think that is interesting to view and to talk about. And these are all round numbers, except for the number of counties won. The top numbers are all sort of round numbers. Now, I'm going to look at the last 3 presidents of the United States. Let's go back to Barack Obama, 2008, 2012. 2012, 69 million votes. Wow. Huge rallies, massive rallies. President Obama won 873 counties across the United States. Now, again, a lot of these counties were in, the population centers. And this is the one that really that sticks in my head. There are like 19 bellwether districts or counties that historically will say if you win these counties or if you win the majority of these counties, you will win the presidency. Barack Obama won 18 of 19 of those. So when he defeated, especially when he defeated Mitt Romney, it wasn't, when you look at those counties, you go, yeah, yeah. And back then, these were swing states: Florida, Ohio, and Iowa. Obama won all three of those. No worries. Bing, bang, boom. And actually helped the down ticket. Because he won seats in. I mean, Democrats won seats in the House. Now, if you look at in 2016, it's the same thing. Trump had these incredible rallies. Now I learned in 2016 or so how some of these rallies happen, and I imagine they happen the same with the Democrat Party too. The campaign calls the city and says, "Hey," or our district, and goes, "Hey, listen, we want to bring the candidate to the district." Literally, they'll call like on a Thursday or a Friday and said, "We want to bring the candidate to the district next week." Next week. All right, so and the local folks or the state folks go, "Okay, great." So in a couple of days, they have to find a venue. They got to find all the stuff that all the security has to be done. They have to do all that stuff and get the word out that the candidate is going to be at that venue at that time, and then sit and pray that people show up. And at that point, it is purely on the candidate and the campaign. The announcement's been made that President Trump is going to be at the fairgrounds on Tuesday, and that word gets out on like Saturday or that Friday. So it isn't just the local. So people may have to get off work. They might have to do get arranged for childcare, whatever, and then they show up. Both Obama and Trump were able to do that in these massive rally turnouts. Because that's how it works. They don't have weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to prepare for these things. They usually have days, hours sometimes. All right. So Trump had these massive rallies, and he also was able to garner 74 million votes or so. Trump won 2,497 counties. Albeit a lot of these counties were not the population centers. Again, 18 of 19 bellwether districts. He won Florida, which blew people away, Ohio, and Iowa. And they won House seats. So it was good for the down ticket, right? However, in 2020, we didn't really see President Biden on the campaign trail. Not at all. A lot of us like to say that that he was in the campaign from his basement, in a setup probably not unlike this, and only won 477 counties. Now this was in smack dab in COVID, so there isn't any way to say that COVID didn't have some participation in all of this, right? There's no way to, but here's the thing here: bellwether states, districts. Joe Biden won one of them. One. And he lost Florida, Ohio, and Iowa. And was not good for the down ticket. They actually lost seats. Democrats actually lost seats. But we're supposed to believe that Joe Biden had 81 million votes. Almost 10 million more votes than Barack Obama. How's that even possible? Again, all I'm asking people to do is to think about it. Here, I provided the information. Just think about it. Take a screenshot of this and think about it. Does it seem likely? Does it seem reasonable? Does it? Doesn't seem reasonable to me. Now, I didn't go chasing every thought on how the election was stolen or anything like that during that time, and you can y'all can check back from my videos and you can see that. But remember that thing from Arsenio Hall? Kind of makes you go, right? The things that we're being told. The things that we're being told. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And that wonder and that mulling it over, thinking about it, is what it's going to take moving forward. You're simply accepting what comes out off the screen as being true. Those days are over. If they even existed in the first place, those days are over. We are all going to be responsible for the information that we get. Now, the information I gave you, I want you to research. I want you to look it up. Please look it up. And if you find information to the contrary, just write it in the comments. Now, don't write Trump's a rapist and Biden's a child molester and Obama's a communist. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is, if there is something that I've shown you that is incorrect, put that in the comments and let me know where you got it from. And I'll make a correction. I'll make a correction on the front page, not on page 72 underneath the obituaries or nestled inside the want ads. I'm old, I know. I have a newspaper with want ads, right? Oh, rabbit trail. How many people ever looked in the paper and read the want ads and actually got a job? Anybody? I didn't. No, I've never been able to do that. But in any case, there you go. The things they ask us to believe. And it's not going to get any better. We just have to understand what our job moving forward is and how to navigate all of it. All right, we got to get out of here and make it for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.